helping people, which helps me, just watching people grow in their businesses, networking that way, and also just building my clientele and helping people in the ways that I know I offer service.
Awesome. Awesome. So are you looking forward to the upcoming summit that is happening in later this month?
I am. I really am, because it's a new kind of way that we're doing it. So I'm really excited to see the turnout.
It's going to be a whole new thing. I just, some people are saying out there in the universe, I don't have too many summits. I don't like summits. We're doing it in a whole new way. It is going to blow your mind. Can't wait to tell you guys more about that as we get into that later today. I think that somewhere here, I do have a link for us to register for the summit. Oh, there it is right there. Go register for it for free. Get it now. Click on the button. It'll open it up, and then you can go register for the summit and find out more about it later and come back to it later. Donna Dahl is in the house. Donna, are you able to pop on and say hello?
I sure am. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How long have you been a member with CIBN?
Since before the world froze over.
Right? It's been a minute, hasn't it? So Donna Dahl, I think, was one of the first members who joined us like in 2011 or something like that. So we've been doing this like a long time. You keep coming back. It must be okay, eh?
It certainly must be. There are so many familiar faces here, and it's so good to see people start off the new year with you, Kerry. How wonderful.
Awesome. Are you still in Canada, or are you in Mexico now?
I'm in Canada for a few more days, but where I am on the globe doesn't matter because I can work from anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We should get together and have sushi before you go. Give me a call later.
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. So guys, you can see, we want to turn your cameras on if you can. It's really important that you turn your cameras on so people can see who you are, because people like to network with people that they get to know, like, and trust, and no one's getting to know, like, and trust a blank screen, like, ever. Okay. So turn your cameras on and let people see you. That's going to be awesome. We want to also put your contact info into the chat. I see some of you are really doing a great job of that. I can see Maria's got her information there. Dr. Patricia Rogers, let's see, is making comments. I'm just talking back and forth. Joshua, can you go through and check the comments? And Joshua, I'm going to get you to jump on here and introduce yourself to everybody too. My awesome co-host is here in the room. Joshua.
Right on. Howdy, folks, and welcome. My name, of course, is Josh George, and I'm part of the fantastic team here at CIBN Connect. And, we have had a hell of a year in the last year, bringing folks together, bringing business owners together, and really creating that community space for entrepreneurs online. And the beautiful thing about it, really, to me, is having that community that you can take with you anywhere. And if you don't know what a difference that makes, well, come check it out. Meet some of the fantastic people in this room, and I'm very excited to be networking with everybody here. I'm going to be sharing my info in the chat here momentarily, and so we can connect on LinkedIn or book a meeting from the meeting and get to know each other, start networking, and start the year off with a bit of momentum. How's that sound? Yeah? All right. Looking forward to it. And back to you, Kerry. Good to meet everybody. Looking forward to talking more.
Awesome. I'm just working with Francois here in the back room, trying to get all of the things streaming. Joshua, can you just jump on with everybody and get a few of them just introducing themselves that are members, and then we're going to do some breakout rooms, okay?
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, folks, like I said, I am excited to meet everybody here today, and we've got some awesome networking that we're going to be doing here in a few minutes. But in the meantime, I would like to just highlight a few of the wonderful people that we've got here that we already know and love. So, for example, we already met Donna Dahl. That's fantastic. Well, better invite John. John and I have an appointment coming up here soon, too. John, if you want to jump up and say a quick hello. And after John, we'll go ahead and bring up Deanne. Deanne, are you back from Germany yet? No, still? Right on. Good to see you. Good to have you jumping on there. But go ahead and say hi, John, and then Deanne, say hi, and then we'll... I think we're going to jump out into breakout rooms to make it a little bit more manageable to meet everybody. Oh, but John, you're going to need to be able to unmute, aren't you? There, try now.
Well, thank you. So good to see you all in 2026. Looking forward to a great year. And I help people prepare for the unexpected. I used my own story 15 years ago. I thought I was healthy, going through life, had no idea I'd be saddled with a major disability. Let me help you prepare for the unexpected. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you, John, for joining us today. And folks, if you ever want to hear just a really great story, really inspirational story, just meet a hell of a guy. Do be sure to book some time with John. He's going to be sharing his info in the chat here. And do remember, we're going to be keeping the chat open for networking through the duration of this meeting. So let's be booking meetings from the meeting, sharing information, connecting on LinkedIn as we go on through the meeting. And we're going to be jumping into breakout rooms here in just a few minutes and to a more manageable sizes to do a little tighter networking. And we'll get that going in here in just a few minutes. But in the meantime, I just want to meet a couple more of the fantastic folks that we've got in our membership here. Deanne, if you're still around, I'd love to have you introduce yourself. And actually, Jennifer has just joined us here in the last couple months, but she's an excellent networker, and we'd be remiss not to meet her as well. So Deanne, go ahead, jump up, say hello, and then Jennifer will get you on.
All right, thank you, Joshua, for the opportunity. First of all, Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Dhyan Bassett, and my company is DBtronics. So basically, I'm a developer by profession, and what the company does is that it caters for two type of clients. One is startup founders, a technical founder who just have an idea and want to take the product from idea to prototype. So a hardware prototype like a PCB development, like this, for example. So basically, I help build that. And the second is I cater for a small and medium-sized businesses, build their websites from scratch, and also integrate automations and AI to save them at least 5 hours every single week. So if you know any small business owner who are bogged down in redundant and repetitive tasks and wants to build websites, then I'm the guy. Thank you for the opportunity. Back to you, Joshua.
Right on. Thanks for joining on. We got some fantastic folks from all different kinds of industries and professions here that I'm very excited to meet and have you meet. But speaking of great networking and people we connect to, help us grow our communities, our networks around our business, well, you ought to meet Jennifer here. So Jen, if you want to jump up and say hello, sure appreciate it.
Hi, Happy New Year. And thank you so much, Josh. And thanks, Kerry, for putting this together so we can all connect. First day of the year, the new year. I'm based in Toronto, Canada. Most of my network is here. Everything that I do is collaboration. I don't do anything else but collaboration. So meeting Kerry and getting involved in this organization just fits like a glove. I've already reached out to some of you already on LinkedIn, and I look forward to meeting you in the rooms today. And let's just get on a call, chat, and see where our synergies are this year and how we can help everywhere. The multiplication effect is the way to go, I think, especially in this economy right now. And so thank you for the warm welcome. And I'm just getting my feet kind of in here and getting to know how everything works. Can I ask? I got to ask this. Is there a trick to the chat box so that it doesn't scroll like crazy when people add more stuff? Or is that just something I have to contend with?
If you go into chat, I believe that there is an auto scroll function somewhere. But as I'm trying to figure this out right now and managing some things, it's difficult for me to find. But I'll take a double peek next time we get a chance.
You were right. I just turned it off. Let's.
There we go. Right on. And folks, actually, on that topic, Jennifer, I appreciate bringing that up. Some of you may have noticed by now, right, that this isn't Zoom, right? And so I will invite everybody to take a moment to investigate. There's a few differences between Zoom and this platform, but it is a great platform that we continue to use as it really helps us network in a very particular way. It gives us a little bit more options with the kinds of things we can put on screen, a little bit of the way we present information to you. But a couple things are different, and the few things at the top here, you've got your big, most important buttons: your mic, camera, speaker, and view. I like to keep my view in gallery mode. I'm not sure what's showing you guys. And then on the topic of the mic, as a matter of decorum, we'll be opening the room up, having more room for conversation down the road here. But as a rule for auditory hygiene, to make sure everybody has a great experience here, when you're not speaking, do try to remain muted if at all that becomes an issue. You may hear some background noise and such, so it's good practice to try and remain muted when you're not speaking. And the chat is on the top right hand side, and the chat has two functions. There's an everyone section where you'll want to share your contact information that you like to share with everybody. And you do want to pay close attention to the private section here as well, because that is where people may be messaging you to ask more about you, your business, how they can connect with you. And you definitely want to make sure that you've got that being checked on throughout the meeting. Yeah. As for the rest of the meeting, we're going to have a great time networking here. Do be sure to share your contact information in the chat. I see you've got a lot of folks in there already. And before we move on too much farther here, I think Kerry wanted to jump in and say something as well.
Well, I'm super excited about everything that we have going on here today. And I just wanted to reinforce what Josh was saying about Meetin. I put a link at the bottom for you. If you like this platform and you like the way that you can put things up on the screen and people can click through on the buttons, you can go check it out for yourself. They made us a great deal there for anyone who wants to get Meetin. It's actually cheaper through our deal than it is actually if you go to their website. So, open it up, have a look at it for later, come back to it and see what it's all about. Lots of people showed up for this, so this is exciting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to break you out into about 10 groups, which should put about 7 people or 5 people into a room, something like that. If you're off camera, people probably won't talk to you, so you should turn your camera on. Okay. CIBN members, step up in these groups and help them to, get going and talking and everything. I think the first one we'll do, just a very simple one. We'll say, who are you? What do you do? What kind of lead you looking for? The basic networking thing, okay? Later, we'll get into some more complex things where we give you a little instruction. But let's just get warmed up with starting that. And before we do, guys, the thing I need you to do before you do anything else is when you actually go to these kinds of things, what happens is the chat disappears, okay? So I want you right now to go to the chat and go save chat to file, okay? So everything that was in the chat will be saved for you, all right? And then we're going to do the breakout. So I'm going to be selecting 10 rooms here, putting you each in a room, and you're going to have 1 minute each to say, who are you? What do you do? Why are you so awesome? Okay? And start making some introductions happen, all right? And I will stay in the main room. So I'll be here to introduce new people and get them off in to meet you in these rooms, okay? Well, we have about 10 minutes and then we're going to be back in this room, okay? I'm going to ask you to keep yourselves muted unless you want to talk, okay? Because some of you got background noises and stuff like that going on. So we'll just have a little breakout room right here because we're waiting for the other ones to come back. All right, well, let's give you an opportunity to say who you are. Alex, I know that you've been around for a while. Alex West, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody here?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully everybody can hear me all right. My name is Alex West. I am a cybersecurity consultant, and I'm also an insurance agent. With ITSC, that's a cybersecurity consulting company. We deal primarily with enterprise level and larger mid-sized companies, providing all sorts of solutions to any cybersecurity need. And then for the insurance, I'm licensed in New York and Vermont, specializing in kind of a higher level insurance program, more concierge style, doing a lot of work with businesses and cyber insurance. But we do also offer any kind of lines on like home and auto as well. So I've been a member of CIBN since the springtime, and it's been great. I've got a lot of referrals, met a lot of good people, and if you guys are into it, you should definitely go to as many meetings as you can and book as many meetings from those meetings. So
awesome. Well, great to see you here, Alex. And Yuki. Why don't you unmute yourself and introduce yourself to everybody in the room? Yuki is actually right here from my hometown of Calgary, and I've met her in person and hugged her personally. Yuki, tell everybody what you do.
Hi everybody, Happy New Year. And I'm Yuki. I'm originally from Japan. I'm living in Canada, in Calgary now. I am a dog trainer. The business is called Happy Furry Tail, and I specialize in aggressive behaviors, apparently for dogs. So yeah, if you know anybody with dogs' aggressive behaviors, struggling with dogs' aggressive behaviors, let me know, and I would like to connect with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And go ahead and put your contact info into the chat, guys, after each time that you talk. And in between breakout rooms and stuff, save the chat frequently so you're not losing what everybody is got going on. Maria Press, I know that you're kind of new, aren't you? I haven't really. I know that I've seen your name just recently on a list, and have we been talking? I've been meeting like 1,000 people a month, so forgive me if I'm.
It's Marla Press, and we met several years ago in one of your meetings, but it's been a long time. So happy to be back and see who's here in your community. I'm very excited. I am a speaking coach, and I specialize not just in your compelling content, of course, your stage presence, but I've developed something called expressive intelligence. And would love to connect with all of you and talk more about that. It's amazing. And it helps you in every stage and every relationship and conversation.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you with us and great to see you again. I know your face looks familiar. We meet a lot of people at CIBN. Sometimes we got about 80,000 people following us on Meetin' and Meetup, and we've got all kinds of other, open social media channels and stuff like that. I'm going to get everybody to mute themselves unless you're talking right now or we've asked you to talk, just so we don't get a lot of noise and feedback, because it's we've got lots of stuff happening all at once here. Kate O'Neill, I see you there. Were you able to meet some people, Kate? Do you want to just unmute and talk to us for a second? Tell us what was going on and if you're able to make some new connections.
Yeah, our group was really small. There were only 3 of us, but lovely people. And I can't remember anybody's name. Cheyenne and Joseph, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, kids. But yeah, we had a good lively chat and got a little glimpse into the marvelous things that they're up to. So it was great.
Right on. Kerry, can I jump in? I would love to come out from the breakout rooms here and ask, who did you meet that you found really interesting? They had a really interesting business you wanted to kind of highlight to the room here. I'd like to introduce you guys to somebody who was in our breakout room, who I think is generally got a really relevant business for a lot of folks who do online networking. So Kobe, I don't want to spoil too much. Kobe, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the room a little bit more about you and who you are and how you serve. And I know I'll be having a meeting with Kobe here in the near future. But Kobe, are you there?
Yes.
Right on. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the room? And after Kobe, if you guys have got some more, put them in the chat here, who you might suggest everybody meet. Just type in the chat and let us know. But Kobe, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to the room here, we're happy to meet you.
Yes. My name is Kobe Carter. My business is ClearPoint VoIP. And what I do is I provide VoIP services. I don't want to assume that everyone knows what VoIP is, but it stands for Voice over IP. So what that is phone by internet, essentially. And what we do is we can give you a business phone number if you don't already have one. If you do have one and you are not happy with your provider, whether that's AT&T or whoever, we can basically take over your number, port that over to our server, and provide exceptional service for you. Jocelyn asked the question earlier about a lot of people do business from their cell phone, and that's not a problem, because what we can do is provide a soft phone for you on your computer that you can open up the app on your laptop, and it just gives you a phone interface as if it's a hardware piece of phone. And you can take phones on your laptop, but what you can also do is receive business calls from your from the server onto your cell phone. And you can also tell which call is coming in, my caller ID is a professional call or if it's a personal call, and that gets you separated. So, yeah, that's what I do, and it's just nice meeting everyone.
Good to meet you too, Fred. And folks, I really resonated with what Kobe does because, as an international business, we've got people we want to be meeting all over the world. Sometimes we want to be making phone calls in all different kinds of places. And having the wrong area code for the wrong place can sure make a difference in your ability to be heard, to, get your outreach done. So I know I'm looking forward to meeting with Kobe. And Kobe, make sure you share your info in the chat here so the other folks here can meet you as well. We had a few other highlights that I wanted to invite to introduce themselves here, but let's see if we can pull them up. I believe it was recommended that we meet, let's see, there was your Karen. I lost my chat here, guys. If you had recommended somebody that we meet, go ahead and just make sure that that's in there. And I'm looking for, they have yes, Ukena Aquara was recommended by Heather that everybody meet Ukena. If you're there, we'd love to meet you. Let's see if we can get you to unmute.
Let's put Evan Foster on deck.
And then we'll meet Emma after Ukena. So Ukena, you should be able to unmute now. And Heather says we should all meet you, and I'm very excited to learn why. Let's see. We have Ukena. I'm having a hard time seeing you, Ukena. If you're there, just go ahead and jump on.
Otherwise, let's move on to Evan Foster. He was recommended by 2 people in the chat.
All right, on. Evan, if you want to go ahead and jump up, introduce yourself, and we're excited to meet you.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Amazing. So my name is Evan Foster. Thanks for the recommendations. I had some awesome people in my group there. It's my first time attending one of these as well, so thanks for hosting these, putting these on. Happy New Year, everybody. So I started off my career as a energy efficiency engineer for 10 years and got kind of sick of that. So I decided to travel the world for a few years, and then in doing that, I decided that I wanted to pursue my entrepreneurial and inventive skills. And the first thing I wanted to tackle was an issue I had years ago, which was my pot lids in my kitchen that were always disorganized and not stacking up. And there really wasn't a great solution out there on the market as far as I was concerned. So I created a system called Liddy Lids, and you can find it at liddy.store. I can put it in the chat again. But essentially, they're universal pot lids, so they fit your existing cookware. They have quick release handles, so they come off, they stack together, they interlock all nicely, and then they store vertically against your backsplash. So 6 lids take up the equivalent of 3 inches of space on your backsplash. Looks pretty good there. So I had a heck of a time filing that patent, doing the trademark, doing all that. I learned a bunch along the way about what it takes to bring a hardware product to market. And so from there, I plan to continue. My personal goal is to file a patent a year every year for the rest of my life. And so I want to continue this journey. And so, yeah, thanks for that. And in the meantime, I vibe coded most of how Liddy Lids runs. And so I wanted to help people kind of break into that space as well and say, like, hey, if you're interested in learning about AI and vibe coding, I built our website, I built our inventory management system, all of that by vibe coding, and I think you guys can do it too. And we can step away from all these subscriptions that cost a lot of money for us small businesses and entrepreneurs as we go along our journey. So I appreciate everyone's time today, and happy to connect with anybody else.
You know what, Evan? I think you're well recommended. You're exactly the kind of guy that I want to meet. I'm working on building a little bit more, and I got to assume you're running the lids through an e-com platform for delivery. I'm working on a little bit of a hub in that space, so I'd love to meet you, learn more about you, and see if I can introduce you to the other folks I know who are in a similar territory. Obviously not also
Amazing.
selling lids though, so that's pretty cool, pretty novel. I'm actually very excited to learn more. I've got my link at the bottom of the screen here. If we could book a network call, I'd love to have that time, sir. And after Evan, Kerry, did we have somebody else that was recommended that everybody meet here? What did you guys think of Evan? Seemed like a guy you'd want to meet, right? A guy you'd want to network with? Anybody else here looking to get introduced or network within an e-com space at all? Go ahead, raise your hand up. If you are, send me a direct message with your LinkedIn. Be sure to connect and continue the conversation there.
Let's go
All
ahead.
right. Well, I didn't see a recommendation for every person in the room, but I know that there's a couple people that I'd like to talk to. Mac is in the room here, and kind of a new friend that I've just noticed a bit here on LinkedIn. Glad to see you, Mac. Do you want to unmute yourself and just tell everybody quickly what you do in like 60 seconds or less?
Thank you so much, Kerry. Pleasure to meet you and to connect. Thank you. I often love connecting with people, so that's great. And so what it is I do is brand development, brand awareness through promotional products. And promotional products a lot of businesses need. Usually we're targeting more of the medium and large size businesses that have a big spend. And I would love to connect with those decision makers who are in that industry. Small businesses usually don't necessarily need a lot of promotional products, but it's also event coordinators as well. We need to cater to those people. So that's what it is I do. And if you want to stand out and be different, and that's what I am in the market of doing. So thank you, Kerry. I appreciate it. And thanks for this opportunity.
Mac, I'm going to pick on you just a little bit.
Thank you. Please do.
I've been
ready.
in business for about 15, 16 years almost here. And we use a lot of promotional products. And I really encourage people to use promotional products. You'll notice even online, we got stuff like our meet and group here. Our meet and room is all branded. Everything is branded. But we do special things for customers, like we give them a mug with the CIBN logo on it, right? When we have in-person events, like we're handing out like books and we're doing things like what do you call writing books, notebooks,
journals, and
yeah, all that kind of stuff. And it's something that we've noticed is that it brings people back again and again when they're able to see your business. And you've been doing this for some time now, so. What has your experience been with business owners, like using promotional products and items to get more business or to bring existing customers back?
Yeah, it's a good way. What you're talking about essentially is a welcome package or something that you give at events. So that's good. It's definitely targeted, and people appreciate something because it's the emotional connection. That's my experience. And you're really telling a story about your business, and that you care about them and that you want to develop the relationship.
Yeah. You have some special items too that are kind of larger, a little bit nicer, like the bags and the briefcases and things. I was on your website snooping. That's why.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for stalking me. It's good.
It's not everybody who thanks me for stalking them. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
In networking, when you're stalking somebody, you're going the extra mile to really get acquainted. And heck, I wish everybody would stalk me a little bit more. We're going to break out. Okay. We'll do, with the amount of people we got here, let's do 5 breakout rooms so everybody gets a nice amount of people to network with. And for this portion of the networking, what I'd love for everybody to do is take the time to do a quick introduction, right? A 30, 45 second introduction. Hey, this is simply put who I am, what I do, how I help, right? And then I'd like us to talk about the types of people that we want to meet this year. And notably here, the types of people that we want to meet, not necessarily the industry. I mean, we all want to meet medium-sized business owners with a budget over 5 million, right? Awesome. But actually what I want to know is what kinds of people do you want to be around that are going to help you invigorate yourself, the way you're thinking, the types of business that you're going to grow. For example, this year, I'd really like to be networking with people who are more involved in the tech space and the data management space. I've got a lot of plans for our business down the road here that relate to data management, and that whole process has got a lot of different questions for me. So I'd love to be networking around other people who are in that space and connected to great ideas there. So on that same topic, business owners who are, inspiring, invigorated, hardworking, ready to kind of conquer the world. Energetic is a big one for me. I like to be networking with people who are energetic. They've got, curiosity about them. They want to meet new people, try new things. I find that those types of people, I tend to get along with really well, and we tend to grow business together really well. And so that's who I'm going to be looking to meet this year. And so we're going to create a breakout room here again. Just introduce yourself, go through, make sure everybody gets to meet each other. And then let's learn a little bit about who we want to meet this year and see if we can get those introductions going. It's a really smooth type of introduction, easy type of introduction to make when you don't really know someone that well. To say, hey, You've got, Josh is looking to meet energetic, hardworking business owners, right? Who are, tech and innovative, tech-based and innovative. Well, that's an easy introduction to make to somebody, even when you don't know them that well, right? So that's a good activity for us.
Oh, here's something else. Guys, this is my calendar link. You can book time with me as well. Book a networking session with me. Love to meet you. So definitely reach out and book time with me. And in a second, I'll share Joshua's link as well. You can book time with him and meet with him as well. Here we go. So click booking time with him. Find out more about the network. Take a tour of the network. We've got lots of cool stuff happening in the network. Here, I'm just going to share a little something with you. So at CIBN, we often talk about how networking works in the sales process and how to use your networking to get more business. So you're here in this networking group. One thing, is you can put into the chat, who am I? What do I do? And book a meeting from the meeting. That meeting is generally called a one-on-one. You want to find out if they could potentially be a client. And what you have to do is ask good questions to find out if that person, A, has the budget and B, has the need, okay? So your one-on-one question should lead to that. But if you find out they don't have the budget or they have the need, you could also find out if they have referrals for you. And you should have a referral process for those people. And then sometimes you meet people who are neither of those, but they have the same target market as you. And those people who have the same target market as you, if they have clients, they can lead you to a lot of business because they have clients, okay? And if they have the same kind of clients that you're looking for, then you can become really great friends and they can lead you to a lot of business. But I have to tell you, lots of people will say, I'm going to give you business, I'm going to give you referrals, and then they don't. Probably experienced that. If you've ever had that ever happen to you, write into the chat, I have experienced that, okay? Because you're not alone. Lots of people have experienced that. And the reason is you got to get to know people more than once, okay? More than one meeting to get them to start referring to you on a regular basis, okay? Very, very important that they get to know, like, and trust you. And that just doesn't happen in 30 minutes. It actually takes usually 3 or 4 times of talking for an hour. And so at CIBN, we train you how to do this and what to talk about. And so that the relationship goes deeper and you start to get some of that business coming back to you from people that you've met, and it actually turns into referrals. All right. I see Katrine's there. Hello. See that you have put your contact information in there. I'm going to be going back through all of this later today and connecting with all of you on LinkedIn. I love to do it on the spot, but it's not always easy to do on the spot because when you're in the middle of 16 other things or talking like I am, it's not always easy to make the connections and hit those connections requests. So if you are busy talking to one person, you might miss the next person, but I'm trying to actually click through even right now while the meeting is happening and say, yes, let's connect. So I see Katrina Lee there, and I'm going to see you right now on LinkedIn, and I'm hitting click through, and I'm sending you a connections request right now, okay? Without, I'm not sending a message in there. By the way, if you send messages to people you're trying to connect to on LinkedIn, you'll only get away with about 3 before they actually freeze your account. So you want to do it without a message. I know in the old days, we used to say, always send a nice message to people. That's no longer true. Okay. So I just, Ravathi, I just connected to you as well. William, I see you on LinkedIn. I'm going to send you a connections request right now. And where you go connect with people, where you go hit those connections, find them. It stops when you ask and create an invoice. Oh, okay. All right. When I send you a connections request, you'll see that under my network. Okay. And then you go in there and just say accept, and then you will be connected. So that's what you do. And I'm just checking everybody out. Aramats, I don't see a link for you for LinkedIn. That would be great to connect with you on LinkedIn. Maria is a member of CIBN. I'm just going to jump back in there and make sure that we are connected. We are. I've talked to you before on LinkedIn. Richard, I see that you and I are already connected. Awesome. Fabulous. I'm just jumping through here. Oh, guys, maybe I should put mine up too. That would be great. So you can connect with me. I'll drop that into the chat right now so that you guys can do that. There you go.
Welcome back, folks. I'm hoping everybody got to meet some fantastic folks just like I did. And in fact, I got to be honest, I got to see a lot of great synergy in the room that we had. We had a lot of energetic business owners who are, actually a lot of them in similar spots. And I love that. I love working with business owners because when we start putting our heads together, and whether we're collaborating or sharing ideas, or whether or not we've earned that trust to build that referral pool together, there's a lot of great outcomes that come from being around people who think like you. And I gotta say, I'm really impressed to find a lot of people who think like me today, and I'm looking forward to networking further. I'm going to make sure to reshare my contact information in the chat here. And I'm just going to ask the room right now, who so far has booked an appointment from this meeting? At least one appointment. I want to see some hands up here. Okay, so I'm seeing everybody I know who's an experienced networker. Jen threw up her hand right away. Jen, how many appointments have you booked so far? Jennifer.
I'm going to go look. I'll give you a real number.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. Right on. Let's see.
And you know what? Go ahead and book a time with Joshua, a networking time right now. Just click through on the bottom there and do that, and he can give you a tour of the network. Maybe in the chat, put down into the chat, how many people have you booked an appointment with already? Guys, I just want to also let you know, I think Meetin did some updates over the holidays, and we're finding out about them like right now during this meeting. So I know that some of you are having some trouble hearing other people. You're having trouble, talking yourself. And, please just bear with us. We're going to try and just keep the show going, and we'll try and get things fixed up to you for the next networking event. Okay. But sometimes these things happen. So we'll just keep going onward and upward. Okay.
Right on, onward and upward. Jennifer, have you got our tally?
Yeah, none in my calendar yet, but I do have agreement with some people to make sure that we do jump on a call.
All right. Well, folks, and you've probably heard it before, but I'll make sure you hear it again. The number one rule of networking, the thing that I can see and the thing that I can tell you makes a difference for everybody when it comes to getting the most out of their networking time, is that you have got to book a meeting from the meeting, every meeting. And it's true. You won't always know why you're doing it, why you're booking that meeting. But what I can tell you is that when you take the time, you figure out the why. You figure it out together. You invest in the people around you, and that one commitment to booking a meeting from the meeting, every meeting, is statistically the number one thing that people learn from us, and they tend to come back in three to 5 months and go, Josh, wow, that one thing changed what I was doing. All right. So I'm just gonna ask the room here, who's kind of newer to networking? Anybody here kind of newer to networking? Okay. Anyone on the really experienced side? I know Jennifer is. I know John is. Okay. For the experienced folks in the room, what do you think of what I just said? That book a meeting rule. Anybody want to? Yeah, John's giving me a thumbs up here. Right. Jennifer, you want to share your thoughts on that? Am I off my rocker, or what do you think?
No, everything starts with an idea and everything happens in a conversation. All of you know that your sales come from meetings. And so this is a place to meet people and just kind of figure out, should you meet? But everything's going to happen actually in the meeting afterward. And so often we go to a networking event and maybe we get a stack of business cards and then they sit on our desk. We don't do anything about it. And the number one reason we don't follow up is because we don't have a good enough reason to do it. And what Josh just said is, the reason is just reach out to people and say, let's get to know each other. And that's enough. And then just get on there. And it's in that conversation, everything will happen. That's where you're going to find out where the synergy lies and what opportunities and how you can collaborate together and what you can do.
And that's exactly it, Jennifer. And you know what? Has anybody else gotten to that point after a networking meeting? You got a stack of, you get the stack of business cards and you're thinking, oh God, what am I supposed to say? I don't want to sound salesy, but maybe I want to say, I don't know what to do, this, that, whatever. Guys, that awkwardness does not exist if you do it right now. Right now, everybody is here to network, right? Send them a message, connect on LinkedIn, and book those meetings now, because that's the one that makes a difference, and it leaves less work for you to do later. More great follow-up that you can book throughout your week right now. And that's the thing that makes a difference. So before we head off for
Hey,
today, I'm going to
actually,
ask you
Joshua,
the meeting.
before I want to make it easy for everybody right now, let's get them to do two things. One thing first, if you have a calendar link, okay, right now, if you have a calendar link, go get it and go drop it in the chat. Nothing else, just drop your calendar link, okay? Throw it in the chat right now. Okay, let's get a bunch of those in there. And then, guys, you can actually go to those calendar links and start booking. So then you're getting the meeting from the meeting right now, okay? So put your calendar link into the chat right now. Nice, easy peasy, and do it, okay? And let's just take a minute and do it now. How's now for you?
Can I also mention something?
Yes.
If people aren't aware, where it says private under the chat, I've been trying to send messages to some people asking them to book with me, but I don't think they're seeing them.
Right. Okay, so check your chat. Check for the word private. If it's turned orange, somebody's sending you a message. Go click on it and see who's talking to you and asking you for, possible information or your booking link. Okay. But right now, everyone put your calendar link into the chat. And I'm going to give you something else in a second that's also really easy peasy. Going to get you all connecting to each other on the spot. Okay. But let's get those calendar links in there first, because I know so many of you have calendar links, right? And you have them for exactly this purpose. So people will book time with you. But then what happens? We get all this other stuff flying by us really, really fast. And we don't actually get our calendar links out there, and people aren't paying attention to them and they're not seeing that and booking with us, right? So let's do it. Everybody all at once, put those into the chat. Calendar links only. Okay. I'm going to drop mine there too. Okay. Now, next thing. You guys most of you are probably on LinkedIn. Am I right? Raise your hand if you're on LinkedIn. Okay. So same thing now. Your LinkedIn profile, when you go into LinkedIn, at the top right-hand side, there's a little tiny picture of you. It says me. And you click on it and it says view profile. Then up in the top URL, the address window will come up for your LinkedIn URL. This is another way where people can quickly and easily connect with you, okay? CIBN, we have really awesome tools as well that can make this even better. But even right now, we can just say, yes, I want to connect with a bunch of people. Let's put our LinkedIn URLs right into the chat. And then all you got to do is go click on them one at a time and send them a connections request, not a follow, okay? A follow is not making you connected. It's making you see what they post. So if you don't see the word connect when you go look up somebody, there is a more button. Click on more, then you'll see the word connect and hit connect and send without a message. I know back in the old days, we used to tell everybody, write a nice message. Well, today, if you do 3 of those, LinkedIn will then slap your fingers and suspend you and not allow you to talk to anyone else. So don't send a message. Okay? Just quickly say send without a message, and then you can do more of them, okay? So right here, we can start connecting with each other, and then you can go back into connections later under My Network, and you can see who has sent you connection requests. You can answer them, say, yes, I accept. And once they accept, say, hey, I met you at the networking event. Let's jump on a call. Here's my calendar link. All right? Then you know you've made some connections. You've actually got people to book with you. Who wants to start this week, or the first week of the new year, with like 5 meetings at least? Raise your hand. Okay. So is this easy peasy to do if we just follow these steps? Awesome. Okay. So there we go. I see everybody is throwing them up in there. That's great. Good job. Great way to start out the new year. Hey, and let's just talk about the new year for a minute, Joshua. I know everyone's got great big hopes and dreams and plans for the new year. So I want to ask you, first of all, have any of you picked out your word for the year? If you've got a word for the year, I'd like you to put it in the chat. What's your word for the year? Okay. The word for the year. What is it that you are working on this year? Okay, let's put that into the chat. I'm gonna just feature that. So guys, okay, I see some things here. Expansion, authority, precision, fix. Cool. Influence. Awesome. I've been giving this some thought too. Mine is multiply. This is the year to multiply.
Kerry, I love this because, last year we had this same conversation, and my word for the year for 2025 was build. And it kept me focused all year on building. And you know what I built? Built a brand new website head to toe, built a new onboarding system. Love that. Still looking to build it even more. Built lots of new onboarding content, member content. We kept building all year long, and we built a lot that I'm quite proud of. And very excited to have those resources now built for the business and continue to build more. But I think this year my word is going to be influence. And to me, that has a lot to do with my focus on expanding a bit of what we're doing with our social media, a bit of what we're doing with our communications, and really focusing on the way that we are interacting with one another, make sure that we've got that to be as positive experience as possible. I think that's going to be awesome. And not just my influence. I think that is a big thing that needs to be considered, is the influence of the community, right? The people around us, the way that we connect, the way that we are empowered to connect in a meaningful way. The influence of our folks in our community and our ability to engage. So I'm really looking forward to focusing on that for this year. And
I love that you mentioned that too, about what it was last year and then what it's come into this year. Last year my word was teams. And it's kind of cool what happened really throughout the year, because my word was teams when we started in 2025. And CIBN has been around for about 15, 16 years now. We have some great people on our team that we've been working with. I mean, Shanae has been amazing. This year helped us so much with the summits and help create like teams around that. We got speakers teams, Tiff Loeffler running the women's community, so many things happening teams, Joshua. But it was interesting because this year we had some crazy things that happened. Anyone ever had crazy things happen in your business? Stuff you weren't expecting, right? Where just crap happens, right? Where you weren't expecting crap to happen. So this year in 2025, I got diagnosed with cancer. True story. And my word was teams. Interesting thing happened. The teams actually stepped up and took over the network and ran the whole thing while I went through chemo. That's pretty cool. You just made me think of it now, Josh. The word was teams. Wow. And the teams took over and ran the whole network. And the whole network has grown and prospered and become even greater in the last year. And many of you have seen Joshua George rise up as a leader running those teams, as the general manager of CIBN. Guys, give him a big hand. We have a lot to celebrate with what went on with 2025, but 2026 is going to be even more awesome. And our word this year is multiply. Multiply.
I'm super excited to see what we do this year, Kerry. We went up over 100 members in our online here, and I'm excited to continue to grow that and continue to collect a great community of awesome people who want to empower one another, work hard, and grow our businesses together. And if you're in our community, this might sound familiar because I say it to everybody. And the fact is, I'm looking forward to growing our businesses together. And I think that is the number one thing I like to set our intention with, right? We grow our businesses together. And I think when we focus on that, networking works better, because I'm not focused on leads and referrals. I mean, I like them. They take up a lot of space for me. They do. But I'm focused on growing my business. And a lot of time that means powerful conversations, taking the time to really get to know each other, right? And educate each other in the ways that we can and just be helpful, right? And when you have that intention, when you work closely with the people around you like that, the referrals, they become incidental. They become natural because we invest in each other. We invest our time and our ideas and our space. And then it becomes very easy to recommend one another, right? And with that in mind, it's a lot of folks in this room I could very easily recommend. But Kerry, if it's okay, I want to pull up some of the people here really shared some interesting things that they want to focus on for this year. And if it's all right, I'd like to call upon a few of them to explain a little bit about
Yeah,
them.
absolutely. I just want to point out a couple of events that are coming up and give them the links so that they can go and open them on their screens and go back to them later. So today is just one event, okay? And we're going to be back next week with a whole bunch more. We do over 500 online events a year, and I want you to know a couple of them are Josh runs Introductions Networking, which will start again next Thursday. If you click through the button, you can go register for it and come back to it later. And then Boss Networking runs every Thursday earlier in the morning. Again, you can click on that link and it'll open it up and you come back to it later in the day. I just wanted to point out a couple of those, and the Women's Network as well, because a lot of the gals like to network with just the gals. So I'm just going to drop that one up here for you. And then who did you want to bring up to share about their word for a minute? We can do a few of those.
Absolutely. And folks, a lot of people, whether we say it out loud or not, we're struggling to find our community and our people, right? And at CIBN, we've kind of changed a little bit about how networking works. Our sessions are always content orientated. They're always subject focused. So for example, I met a lot of people here today who would really benefit from participating in our Boss Online Business Club, because that club is always designed for new business owners, their first, 1 to 3 years. And we just talk about the fundamentals of business that, can be hard to stumble upon, right? Can be difficult to discover on your own. And you get to meet people who are in that same space as you, inspire one another, work together, share ideas, challenges, and grow together. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. It's been my favorite club for the year, and I hope to see you all there next week. But Marla Press, Marla, are you still here? Let's see. Marla Press shared one that was really interesting as their focus for the year, and that was speak. But let me just see if we've still got Marla here.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, she's waving around. Marla, can you tell us a little bit more about your goal to speak more this year, or to focus on that?
Yeah, I'm always focusing on speaking because I'm a speaking coach, but for myself, focusing on getting bigger stages, because I speak all the time. But to really focus on, and by bigger, I don't mean thousands of people, but just bigger stages that are live stages that are interactive, because I love interacting with the audience. And speaking is the best way to grow your business. So, we all should be out there speaking as much as possible.
I love that. And networking is such an excellent and natural opportunity to practice your speaking skills. I know, I've always identified as a great speaker myself, but really what's made the difference for me in the last 3 years has been practicing like 12 times a week, right?
Yeah.
And getting that comfort from it. And so Marla, actually, I'd love to connect with you further after the meeting. We've got some great things we're doing for enrichment programs for our speaker level membership. And cool. That's the level of membership we have for people who want to speak, be engaged as a leader in our community, but also go through and get some of the development courses that we facilitate. So there might be some opportunity for us to collaborate there, Marla. Definitely we should book some time.
I'd love that, Joshua. Thank you.
Right on.
Awesome. And we love to engage our speaker trainers with our speakers group, because that's a great place for you to pick up clients, by the way. But it's also, it's really enriching for them to have feedback from members such as yourself that have that kind of knowledge. Really awesome.
And Kerry, I see another really interesting one I'd love to pull out if we have time. Heather Rothman has said orchestrate, which is a fantastic piece of verbiage that reminds me of this book that I read recently, really like. And so Heather, if you want to jump up and tell us a little bit more about your goal to orchestrate more this year, we'd love to hear from you. Heather, if you're still here, let's see you waving around yet. Oh, there you are. Heather Rothman, can you tell us a little bit more about your goal this year?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I know that, we have goals, but do we orchestrate them? There's more to just writing them. There's like producing them. So orchestrate to me is like get the whole program, not just the one aspect of it, and to produce something that's really in harmony, which is that's what we're all about, is our future, to have it look the way that we would like.
wanted to talk about quarter launch for just a minute because it's coming up next week. And I put the link up here, and CIBN members get to come to this. It's part of their membership. But we've just put out a really great special on this as well. And I wanted to bring everybody's attention to it because it is so important to plan for your future. And Heather was just talking about that. And we've been talking about our word, and we've been talking about, preparing for the future. And you know what? At CIBN, we like to help our entrepreneurs prepare every 90 days, like big businesses do. And kind of put your poop in a group so that you get stuff done. Right? And we show you how to break it down into tasks and projects and overcome the sabotaging behavior that we sometimes have that keep us from making our goals. I'm sure that nobody in this room has ever made a goal and then not made it happen, right? That's probably never happened, right? But if it has happened to you, this is how to get this to stop happening, okay? Quarter launch is coming up on January the 9th. It's 9:30 till 3 o'clock. It is full day of preparing your next 90 days and figuring out what is most important and how to focus on it and how to get it done step by step, putting one foot in front of the other. And we have seen members change their lives with this program. Especially those that come back each time and actually keep building on the future like that, which is why we put it on every 90 days. Yes, there's the videos you can go watch, but it's better, Bradley, when somebody's sitting there talking to you and you're talking back and you're sharing what your goals are and you're writing it down. And then you're coming back 90 days later, talk about how did that go? Then, you're actually confronting what you did do and what you didn't do. And then you're putting what you didn't do, some of that onto the next list for this next 90 days. And your whole year just progresses and you grow as a business owner. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Am I talking anyone's language here? Okay. Who wants to get some crap done this year? Right?
I'm on board. And I got to say, I attended this one last year, same time.
Yeah.
And it set me up in a really powerful way for this year. And, my goal, like I said, was build, right? And the things that I'm building are complex with many steps before, and they've got to be planned out. Like when you're building a website, integrating that with your client capture, your data retention, your management systems, your nurture sequences, everything has a sequence of steps that needs to be built piece by piece. And so the planning was the essential component to delivering on what I wanted to deliver on this last year. And I'm very proud to say that I achieved, and I'm not going to say everything, most of my goals. And wouldn't you love to achieve most of your goals? Anybody achieving all of them? I'd love to meet you. I'd love to have a
I would
chat.
love to tell you that I've made all of them, but you know what? I've just found out that sometimes you mess up a little bit, but as long as you keep putting those goals down and keep working towards them and putting one foot in front of the other, you do move ahead and you move ahead and you move ahead. And we've been doing this for 15 years now. So we've been building an empire by doing one brick at a time in the side of the castle wall, one little step at a time. Guys, I gave you this special offer there. You can go look at it later. But I wanted to mention that it's also included in the speaker level, $77 a month. So if your budget is small and you're going, I really want to do this, but I don't have $599. Just get on the monthly program and come to quarter launch. Start building your business, taking those steps for networking, finding out more about speaking and presenting and putting yourself out there and moving your step-by-step, pattern here so that this year, 2026 can be different. Who wants it to be different than it was last year? Okay, so write that affirmation into the chat right now. 2026 is going to be different for me.
Yeah, and
this year I'm going to accomplish more.
I often say building a business is like, in some ways, like choosing to beat your own head against a brick wall. And and at Quarter Launch, we help you build that brick wall.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2026 is going to rock. By the way, just a couple quick announcements here for our members who are so excited about what is happening in 2026. We're going to rock YouTube this year. And we're going to be getting a lot of our members up there and interviewing you. Okay. And some of our members are stepping up to do the interviewing and run special shows on the YouTube channel. So, if you're a member and you want to talk about that, like reach out, let's do something with that. Joshua is coordinating all of the online networking events. Okay. And he is always looking for members who want to run the groups, who want to be building a community of their own, who want to step up and participate in that, and this year we want to feature more of our members. We want to get more people involved because it's all about community, and we want to grow the community. We want you to be the people that are benefiting from that, and we want to take you to places that you've never been before. Who wants to go someplace new? Right? All right, I'm in the right room. Woohoo! I see you, Heather. She wants to go someplace new. Yay! Okay, so book time with us and talk to us. Yeah, we said this would be a 90-minute session today. My hosts are actually messaged me. When are we ending? I don't know. Everyone's having so much fun. I don't know. Maybe we want it. But if you need to leave, we understand. It's 90 minutes is up. Okay. But you know what? We can hang out for a few more minutes and get a few more of you just to introduce yourself. Joshua always likes to meet the people, and we're free today on January 1st. Like, we really don't have a lot going on.
But thank you so much for joining us today. Happy capitalism, if you haven't heard it from us before. And we're looking forward to networking with each of you further. Do be sure to check out that big blue button at the top of the page there to see all of our weekly online networking events. We've got fantastic sessions to help you not only connect, but also grow your business, connect to community, and network at a high level. If you want to learn more about that, you can book some time with me. It's also I've got my links in the chat here, but do be sure to be booking those calls. We'll be hanging out for a few minutes. If anybody has any questions about CIBN, who we are, what we do, or if you need a few more minutes to collect the info, and make sure you get your connections made. Thanks again for joining us. And folks, before we go, Happy New Year's!
Happy New Year's! Yes, awesome, and happy capitalism to all of you. We want to create those win-win scenarios this year. So many amazing things that we're going to be doing together this year. I'm so excited. Watch us on CIBN TV. Guys, that's on YouTube. Go to YouTube and subscribe. I'll give you the button right there. Go ahead and click through and subscribe. And keep an eye on that because we're going to be doing a lot on CIBN TV, and you may see yourself on there soon. So go there and definitely do that. Looking forward to getting to know some of the new people that were here today. Make sure that you book time with us. Save the chat before you go. Awesome. And I think right now what I'm going to do, guests can unmute. So if you got any questions, go ahead, unmute and ask away.